McGillicuddy and Murder's Pawn Shop. Episode 15. Witch Hunt. September 24th, 1921. Things have been absolutely lovely with Ariana. I can't tell you what it's like to while away the evenings playing cards or swapping stories. We giggle quietly, or stifle our laughter in pillows. When it was just me, I always hid in the back corner, behind the coats, and I kept myself separate from the rest of the pawn shop. I didn't explore. I wanted to feel tucked away, safe. Ariana's just the opposite. As soon as the pawn shop shuts down for the night, she wants to be out doing things. She wants to explore and poke around and make use of all the furniture. And it's finally fun. Imagine how boring and dismal it would be. No, creepy even, to wander around with your trembling candle, alone, finding mummies in the corner. And yes, we really do have a mummy in the corner. Ariana and I found it last night. It's just propped up next to a sarcophagus. I don't think it's real, but it's just as chilling. We've been finding the most interesting things. Just last night, after the power went out, we decided to go exploring. And I found a treasure chest filled with papier-mâché masks. They all had long noses with a wicked upwards tilt, and I felt like I'd stumbled across a stash of gremlin corpses. With Ariana there, it felt exciting and shivery. Alone, I would have been jumping out of my skin. Everything is strange and new. This is the sort of life I was wishing for when I first became a Magic Unusual. Finally, I have hope again. Once things are sorted with the night enthusiasts, I'm going to have the most wonderful life. I already do. Ariana and I have plans to visit Ireland tomorrow, and we're going to explore ancient ruins all afternoon. I can't help feeling like something is missing, but I don't know what. I suppose it's just certainty. Ariana and I are having a lovely time, but in our own way, we're trapped on a deserted island. We can Swiss Family Robinson and make the best out of it. But until the big ship comes and we have the chance to go home, I'm going to be watching the horizon every other minute. Even with Ariana here, there's a sense of transience to everything we do. We're just waiting. Things have to change sooner or later, and we don't know how they'll change. And that's frightening. The good news is, McGillicuddy and Murders will probably entertain us until the day we die. There's plenty to see. Ariana is voracious. She wants to discover everything. A few nights ago, she spent 2 hours in one of the little rooms, looking at statues. Every time she found a funny one, she'd hold it up with a laugh, or ask me what I thought it meant. She's always doing that, asking questions, wanting to know more. It makes me wish I was more of a teacher. I barely know how being a Magic Unusual works myself. We're really just the blind leading the blind over here. September 25th, 1921. I was all chipper spirits yesterday. How could I not be, with caramels melting on my tongue, and Ariana and I tucked into a cozy red and gold room on the first floor. We were enjoying everything. We were surrounded by Asian tapestries and statues, seated on mounds of red cushions. Last night, the world was ours. McGillicuddy and Murders seemed safe. Interesting. The best place on earth. Now, I'm not so sure. Something strange happened tonight. We just got back from Ireland. Yes, we were in Ireland all afternoon. It's hard not to feel like the queen of the world when you can visit Ireland at will. We spent the day enjoying the salt tang of the sea, and after our feet hurt and our faces were flushed, Ariana flirted a little, and we had a remarkably lovely evening in a pub with 2 young Irishmen. We laughed and talked all night long. They bought us a delicious, hearty dinner, and now I've had more than my fair share of Irish beer. The fun of it! We didn't break any hearts. They knew we were leaving that night, but were happy for our company anyway. I would never have thought of reaching out to strangers as a cure for my loneliness. That was all Ariana. She made all 4 of us the best of friends in about 10 minutes. I wish I was like that. I wonder why I'm not. We had a lovely time, and so did those boys. It started out as flirting, but it ended up being delightfully human. I felt like their equal, which I seldom do with men. Were they special? Did they treat me differently? Or am I acting differently? Am I a different kind of woman now? One who's taken seriously? Diary, I ramble. As wonderful as Ireland was, it has nothing to do with this entry. I'm writing about the strange thing that happened after we got back. We were both a little damp and very tired. Truth be told, Ariana was a little tipsy. Buttered. We teleported onto the ground floor of McGillicuddy and Murders, into the silent blackness. Giggling quietly, we were about to head upstairs and go to bed, when we heard voices. Ariana froze, her amusement gone. She clutched my hand. I turned slowly. I couldn't make out where the voices were coming from. For a moment, I thought they were coming from the floor, and I had visions of secret dungeons beneath McGillicuddy and Murders. Then I realized the voices were coming from the street, and Ariana and I crept up to the window. Outside in the street, men were clustered around a car. They stood on the running boards and hung onto the sides like gangsters ready for a shootout. I thought they were gangsters for a minute. Then I saw them holding newspapers and about 100 flashlights. Gangsters didn't go flashing lights into buildings at 2 a.m. They're a bit more subtle. These men were hunting someone down. Maude, Ariana said in a low voice. She ducked out of sight, beneath the window, and clawed at me until I joined her. What? I said. What is it? Those men are holding a newspaper, Ariana said. So? So your name is in the headline. Oh no. I covered my eyes with my hand. I hadn't told Ariana about the murders yet. She and I had hit it off beautifully. She believed every word about the night enthusiasts. She knew magic unusuals were real, because she was one of them. But I thought I was going to lose my dinner as I told her about the fake murders. Ariana sat very still, looking like she wanted to vomit. Although that might have been the Irish stout. She hiccuped once I was done, and stared off into the distance. Well, she said, the night enthusiasts are beasts. And apparently, Maude, you've murdered someone else this afternoon. What? I hissed. Ariana gestured furiously out the window. That's what the paper said. Melinda Merkel takes second life. Those men out there are thirsting for your blood. I didn't ask Ariana if she wanted to come with me. I stood straight up and hurried for the staircase as quick as I could go. It occurred to me later that I could have just teleported, but magic powers do take some getting used to. I was petrified. Those men out there were looking for me. I found the corner where Ariana and I had made our sleeping nest, and I buried myself under a blanket. Then, for good measure, I crawled under a table and buried my head in the floor. It was like a witch hunt. They were searching the streets of the city for me. Egads, what was I supposed to have done this time? Murdered an orphanage? I sat up, suddenly more angry than frightened. These blasted night enthusiasts were not going to get the best of me. I didn't know what they wanted from me. I didn't know what they wanted from the world. Something about power and blood. I recalled, vaguely, what the small woman had said. We are the night enthusiasts, Miss Merkel. We thirst for blood. We search through tombs for life, and we embroider that life on the fabric of the world. We make more of our lives than we were originally given. At that moment, Ariana entered the room. She flicked on the light, which was all right, because there weren't any windows. But she was staring at the floor like she'd seen a ghost. There, on our blankets, was a copy of tonight's paper. Melinda Merkel takes second life. Neither Ariana or I had put it there. We hope you've enjoyed episode 15, Witch Hunt, of McGillicuddy and Murder's Pawn Shop. McGillicuddy and Murder's Pawn Shop is written and performed by Minerva Sweeney Wren. All rights reserved. Please subscribe, share it with your friends, and support Minerva Sweeney Wren at patreon.com/Sweeney Wren. McGillicuddy and Murder's Pawn Shop will continue next week with episode 16, The Lady in Disguise.